Hi.
Hi. So waiting a couple minutes to start.
Good afternoon.
Evening.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Hi, everyone. I see already familiar faces. Hi, Kordian. Hi, Stefania.
Hi, Pawel. Are
Hi,
you now
Pawel.
in Poland, back to cold?
I'm back to cold, from Miami, coming back to, but it's not so bad. Actually, today was quite sunny day in Wroclaw. So far, so good.
Sounds good. Yeah, spring is coming in a month or something like that. So I guess we're waiting for 1-2 minutes and then we will start.
We can wait even 5 and have small talks,
Yeah, I mean, your topic, for the webinar, personal branding is, sounds indeed exciting. And I mean, when you like even look at it as a, like descriptions that you have shared, it sounds, quite intriguing about how to achieve that, like tips and tricks and things like that. Quite important things nowadays, I would say. Oh no, you were stuck for me for a couple moments.
I see.
Pawel.
Hey, Vadim. Hey, man.
Hey, hello.
Many familiar faces on that call. So, guys, where are you now located? Vadim, Lviv?
No, I'm in Krakow, in Poland.
Ah, in Krakow. Okay.
Yeah.
And Kordian, you are in Wrocław now?
Yes, even looking at my background, I would like to be somewhere else, maybe. Still in Wrocław.
Yeah, I'm in Lviv, but we have similar, I would say, maybe in terms of weather and all that, like in Krakow. So because they're like 3 hours for driving, something like that. So it's quite similar experience to some extent.
So we are all over Europe now.
Oh yeah, spread across everywhere.
I tried to be in many places. I was in Miami last week, landed on Monday morning in Wrocław, but we decided to quickly go to Gdańsk for 1 day sailing with a few guys over there. So we spent 1 day on Baltic Sea, and then I'm back in Wrocław again today to run this webinar with you guys.
Oh my, isn't it freezing now there? I mean, strong wind, cold.
It was great. Actually, it's still like it was +4 degrees, a bit windy, but the boat was sailing quite fast, to be honest. But it was, great company on the boat, great discussions. And, the good thing about the boat is when you are at the boat, and Przemek Koteski that is on the call actually was on the boat. You can, Przemek, say hi. You cannot escape, and And actually you need to discuss, and you have no way to not to contribute to the team, yeah?
I can confirm.
Was it, like with all that, how to say it correctly? It's not like it was an engine, right? So it was, like kind of things that you have managed by your own, like catch the wind and things like that.
Oh, we were catching the wind, believe me. We had like very huge angle while sailing, like 45 degrees. So it was pretty fun.
Everyone's safe.
All safe, all safe.
Great.
See, it's not so bad. 17 people already joined. I see even Eugene, Yevgen, as well. Oh, Yevgen, hi, man.
Yeah, hi, Pawel. I saw invite in PMI chapter, decided to join. I see how it works. Hi, everybody. We are colleagues with Pawel, and I saw results of his approach, and it's really amazing when he comes to Miami and have 4 meetings, more than our sales guys. So it's really impressive. And I decided, what is the secret? I need to learn it.
Maybe I'll tell that story, but that's actually a good hint. Like, remind me later if I'll not mention, then definitely. So I see on the list, like people are still joining, like 20 already, but just with small talks, like I see many people that I used to work before or now, which is really great. And like I work with Softserve for many years. I have colleagues from Softserve. Vadim is one of those, definitely. I have now new colleagues, Yevgen here, and also from probably other companies. Somehow we cross each other on different meetings and events as well. Yeah, so really cool.
Looks like they indeed like you, like besides also working together, but join in, extra hours for webinar to learn more from you, from your experience.
The approach works. It's a proof.
Exactly. So what do you think? Like, should we start or like we should still wait maybe a minute?
I would propose to start. In any case, like we will record it and share it sometime later this year. So, like the one who didn't join on time or didn't have possibility to join these days, they would have possibility to catch on it sometime later.
Cool. I like this approach. So I think the way how we'll run this meeting, we need to decide together. And I think every single person on this call can say exactly what are his or her expectations. Because I have presentations, like 70 slide decks that I can definitely go through. But I can send you over that presentation easily after the meeting as well, so you can just check on it. And my approach would be rather to have like a live experience how personal branding can look like based on some LinkedIn profiles, tools, and maybe have common discussion how you see is working for you or not, and maybe we can confront each other exactly why it's working, why it's not working, what we can do to improve to be working better. And I think that would be more meaningful for everyone, and this will add real value, at least from my perspective. What do you say, guys?
Sounds great.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I'm really open for like a dialogue here. So like unmute your microphones if you like, and let's have this discussion. Like I'm pretty aware that majority of you knows what personal branding is, yes? So if anyone can give me like at least high-level definition of what is personal brand, I think that would be a great start. I don't know, Vadim, but you are on my main screen, so you can start.
It's a trap when you put on your camera, You always been asked first. All right, so for me, probably personal brand is how other people sees you, with what things they like, I don't know, associate you with, probably, and something like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I see even more people like Radek Przychoda is here. Hi, Radek. We also work together.
I am
cool.
in a bit noisy place.
No worries, man. No worries.
I'm in a cafe, so I'll just go to noisy place. Thank you for that.
Cool.
Not sure if you can hear me.
We can hear you, but a bit noisy, definitely.
Yeah, I'm with this.
So guys, yeah, personal brand is quite important, at least from my own perspective. I put huge focus and value on personal brand, but it gives me back a lot of stuff that actually I input to my daily life all the time, yes? So personal brand is about how people perceive you, what they say when you are not in the room, and so many other statements you already heard, read, and seen in the different channels, yes? And there are like great personal brands all over the world that you see the picture and you know instantly who that person is, name, surname, where he works or she works. And this is exactly what we want to actually aim as well in general, yes? So how to pursue this personal brand in our IT environment or in our professional project management careers, yes? So from my perspective, personal brand is like you need to feel it, like you need to, first of all, know why you want to be important and visible in some kind of network, yes? And how you want to present yourself, how you want to do your elevator pitch, yes? And how you would like others to talk about you in better or good way, depends how you create your brand as well, yes? But maybe I'll share my screen and I'll show you based on my example of my profile exactly how I structure my personal brand and what is my strategy of running my personal brand. And you are free to ask any questions based on that, but it will show you a bit of my approach, the tooling and the mindset I use. And I think that would be a good start of next maybe points of discussion, okay? Okay. So let me start sharing.
Can I comment a bit?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry, being without camera. Yeah, for me, developing your personal brand is like actually marketing your business, because if you're positioning yourself as an expert or as consultant or as professional, you are your business. So you have to treat your profiles, at least on LinkedIn, yeah, as your business, and you have to properly market it, not only through structuring the profile, but also through different activities you perform, like different posts you have, and you should mind your posts actually.
Definitely, good comment, really good comment. So personal brand can be expressed in many ways, through thought leadership, articles, posts, the way you speak, look, where you perform your speeches, how many events or conferences you are attending. But basically now, especially, in these last years, I think digital media are the way how actually we pursue this personal brand, yes? And LinkedIn is known for everyone and would be like, I don't know, I would guess 80+% of your personal brand visibility in digital media in general, yes? So I just want to show you how I structure my personal brand and why, for example, I position myself in this or different way, yes? So at least I'm kind of person, and please start me if you have some kind of add-ons or checks or questions, yes? So I'm kind of person that like to look through the world of people and things through the pictures as well, yes? So I always look and have first impression of the situation, probably majority of us. And after that, you analyze deeper and deeper, and then you get to know people from more like insight and their character and other stuff. But if you go through online websites, tools, sites, you would usually use like image recognition in your brain to have like a first thought about person, the brand and everything, yes? That's why I personally put strong focus on good design and graphics behind, yes? So as you can see, for example, this is my LinkedIn profile. And how can I move this one? Okay, this is my LinkedIn profile. And you can see that I made for a reason a kind of very greenish circle around my picture, and I especially put some kind of an additional color on the top, because when you look through the profiles, this profile would always stand out from the crowd, and you will always recognize that my picture on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, or other channels look exactly the same. So it's really easy to recognize and associate. So for example, you see my picture here, but if you click on Instagram, I will use exactly the same picture. If you click on Twitter, I will use exactly the same picture. If you click on YouTube, I will have exactly the same, yes? And even the same picture, I will have maybe on my personal like website where I also try to use position my name and what I do in daily life, yes? And then, of course, I will put like a background picture that also is associated with my brand and what I do, and try to use like high-level pitch in one sentence, really what I actually do on a daily basis. So technology advisory for your business. From my perspective, I advise on technology, working for different companies, for different businesses, yes? And this is exactly the goal of my pitch, yes? How I see it. Any questions to this part, guys?
How did you found all these tricks? Let's say, did you pass some training? Do you have some, or is it your like personal invention? Just
Well, first of all, I like to work in general. Like I'm quite extroverted person, and I used to be a photographer. My wife is a photographer, and I strongly believe in pictures and like spreading message through the like designs and pictures in general. Yes, but and I was quite curious exactly how to become on certain level and how to, for example, approach to certain positions. So I'll tell you also the story, for example, how I get to my first board of directors and what was strategy behind that with the brand and everything as well, okay? I think that would be quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So LinkedIn itself gives you a lot of capabilities and features really that you can easily actually add to your profile as well. Okay, let me try to just close this one because this is another part of the story. Okay, so first thing that actually we have on LinkedIn, you can all of you can have this personalized like a address. Like I choose my Pawel Lopatka, and it's very easy to do it, and you can always write it from your mind. That usually when you create your LinkedIn profile, it will be like your name, some numbers, letters, and it will be hardly recognizable, yes? But you can edit public profile with this URL. And here you can check actually if your required or, you know, name that you would like to have is actually available. Usually it is, and you can actually set it, save it. And in that way, you can have in very easy trick, first like a trick from the personal brand, like a customized link of your profile that will last forever, yes? The same thing is done actually in YouTube as well. So you can actually customize your title over there and have very simplified link to your profile as well, which will be much more easier also tracked and recognized even on search in Google and stuff like that, yes? So this is trick number one. Okay. Then when you have in your profile, of course, lines and titles you can actually express under your name, yes? So I usually write exactly what I do, like executive technology advisor, and I change this quite often depending what I want to achieve, yes? For example, data, MuleSoft sales for security. Jevgen will know why, because we work exactly in that technologies in our companies, and it helps me to position exactly on the market which technology advisory I'm actually looking for to provide to my customers and future business as well. Then you will have very short info about, you know, and we can discuss how it's written. You know, we can use now ChatGPT to write it as well, and it works pretty well in some occasions. And I think this is quite important. I personally, when someone applies to work with me, I used to hire many people in previous companies. I usually read about, and in that way I get to know more about that person. And if the profile is interesting, I'm more keen, for example, to invite that person for interview or for other like steps in general in talent acquisition, yes? When you write, for example, articles, or you have articles, you can also attach them to your profile, and they will be searchable as well on different media channels, yes? Which gives also additional to your brand recognition, because one of the things you can do actually to improve your thought leadership and brand is also to write articles and be more recognizable, yes? And then, of course, you will have, like, in general, your activities, what you do, your experience, where you work, so on and so forth, and most likely, like, education, where you studied, and your volunteer experience. And this volunteer experience, especially, I think, from my perspective and in US, is something quite interesting for employers. I always find people, because I was volunteer for many, many years, actually, working for Project Management Institute. In Poland, we have also Wielka Orkiestra Świątecznej Pomocy. I was several years volunteer over there as well. And I know that to become a volunteer, you need to do extra mile and not ask really for, to deliver great results for something you are not being paid. Usually people, if they are volunteers, they will be highly motivated, they will deliver on promise, they will do this extra mile. And even if they don't have certain skills, they will learn them very quickly. So from my perspective, having volunteer experience in profiles that I would see on LinkedIn gives me already certain imagination about the person I'm talking to, yes? But how to get another certain imagination, who do we talk to? So there is another trick. There is a tool called Crystal. And Crystal is a really great tool, because what Crystal does, Crystal is actually analyzing profiles on LinkedIn, and it will tell you exactly what type of personality person is. So of course it's on subscription base, but if you assign your, like, a free email, it will give you 10 profiles to review. And when you click on the profile, I used actually here profile of our colleague from work, Alec. Where is he? I think it's here. Anyway, I'll show you on a live example, actually. Yevgen, can I use your profile?
Yes, please. You can do it.
Okay, so we have Yevgen, okay? So Yevgen volunteered now to be on a live, actually showcase how we can analyze his profile. So you just plug in, you log in, and you plug in, simple like plugging to your browser. It's here. And when I open his profile, I can go to Crystal, and somehow I need to log in again. Sorry, guys. Okay, it's here. It's here. Okay, cool. I can log into Crystal, and this tool, I don't know exactly what percentage, but the majority of profile works for me at least, will give me high-level overview who Yevgen is. So from this perspective, he's the captain, for example, yes? What he do, what he don't. So what he does, he places a high value on being time efficient rather than filling it up to small talk. Highly competitive advantages on your product, yeah? What he doesn't do, actually, he doesn't take their challenge lightly, respect the call's length and of schedule, and don't sugarcoat on use of vague, over-optimistic language to describe the value of your product. So, Yevgen, you can decide if this is true or not.
It's
but
like
what this tool
yeah, I think it's very like close to reality. Because, for example, in States, they complain sometimes and they skip small talks, like, or too direct. I'm explaining, I'm an Eastern guy, like, does it sound barbarian for you?
So does it rely on the idea that he's written the profile himself? If you have a professionally written one, or it's just developed over time, is it understanding the context of what's written, or is it understanding the style and take of it?
I don't know exactly what is behind, to be honest, but let's assume that we written the profiles ourselves as an assumption, yes? Because of course we can ask someone to write the profile. Like, I did my profile myself without the use of ChatGPT, by the way. And when I analyze my profile, exactly what is written here fits exactly to my style. You know, I don't like to micromanage. I'm very like focused on target. I'm visionary as well. But what actually gives you this tool, especially for me, when I go for a meeting and I do a lot of customer-facing meetings, sales meetings, I can preliminarily check who that person might be. Of course, there is certain risk of not hitting the right personality, yes, but from my perspective, it's like 80% accurate. So if I know that person is of certain type, you know, I can build my own strategy how to approach that person with questions, with maybe body talk, body language. If he is extrovertic, and I will analyze his profile, maybe I will be more talkative about his hobbies or stuff like that. And usually I actually use it, yes. and it helps me with many meetings with many stakeholders. And usually I have pretty good outputs of those meetings in general. Yes. So I encourage you to try on yourself, actually, to analyze profiles of people that you really know, and at least the ones I analyze, they are really accurate, yes, and really works well exactly how to help in your, I would say maybe sales or client-facing experience. But also it will show, if you check even your profile, you will understand how people will perceive you on the meetings, or how you perceived even from the first glance of your profile as well, yes? Is it helpful, guys, so far?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And yeah, again, thanks for allowing me to use your profile. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So then I will show you a bit about me as well. And okay, let me click and I will tell you why I use this kind of post that I'm posting on LinkedIn. Okay, so if we click, okay, if we click here, what activities are actually happening, then we can click show all activities. And here in every activity, we'll have like all activity, article, post, and documents, yes? I usually, when I go and meet someone, I will try to see, do they have any personal posts? I have many posts because I post myself a lot of content. Even from yesterday, I was selling with the guys on Baltic Sea, like C-level guys from different companies, they are owners of the business, and you'll see how many impressions you have, how it's perceived from the market. I like, for example, avionics and fly with helicopters. And, you know, for example, 2 days ago, the Polish guy actually was the first one who landed on the skyscraper in Dubai, yes, which is pretty impressive. But I will reshare my friends' posts and my colleagues' posts from the job. Why I will do it? This is actually quite important because I believe that my brand is as strong as my company brand. If I identify myself with my company, I will help my company brand to grow with my brand, but I will also leverage brand of my company to help to grow with my personal brand. And it actually really works, yes? So I'm really not afraid and not ashamed really to talk about company I'm working with, to share some insights from when company is reposting. I will not, of course, speak on behalf of the company, but if I see that definitely I'm with the values of the company, I will fully support and I will spread the message of the current employer around the world, yes? But you can see that, for example, my style, I love to use pictures. So for example, this is kind of the meeting we had in Miami and sales kickoff, and we had whole team there, yes? And you know, location is great, you know, like who wouldn't like to be in Miami for sales kickoff? And why not to tell this on LinkedIn? You know, people like to be tagged, to be honest. Like I usually ask, is it okay for you to be tagged on LinkedIn? And usually, I think no one said to me, no, don't tag me or whatever, yes? Because this shows also your culture, your values, but also values of the company, yes? And you support actually not only your employer, but also you support your personal brand, showing that you are kind of team player, yes? And what I noticed that on LinkedIn, people are more keen to like more personal, authentic posts than more business only related. Like I have posts that I will have like 50,000 like views related to more personalized, you know, experience that I share on LinkedIn. But if I share like very basic, rough business material, sometimes I will not even reach 3,000 displays, you know, on that post. So I encourage you to look for your own strategy as well in those type of postings, because definitely it helps, yes? Okay, articles. Not often, but it happens sometimes that I do like once, twice per year my own articles. Well, I would, for example, summarize the year or center period of my life, which is quite important, and what I achieved. And I do it because I like to do it. It's definitely time consuming because you need to gather like all timeline of your life and express exactly the situation and the achievements you would like to have. But from the other side, we shouldn't expect that people will praise us all the time. If we like to be praised, we need to act on our own, at least from my perspective and my experience, to be visible and to be recognized for certain things. Of course, you might be somehow recognized sooner or later, but like we need to work on our achievements ourselves to be recognizable by others as well, especially with the current world where there is so much data, and everyone is doing something. But if you feel that this is something that should be shared, yes, and this is your way, your strategy of, and you like to be recognized, don't be sharing, just share it, post it. From my perspective, the worst thing that can happen to your brand is that no one talks about you. If they talk badly, you are still on the tanks, yes? Of course, people prefer to have like good words about themselves. This is the best situation, yes? But if no one talks about you, means that you are like hidden somewhere, and maybe you will be revealed, maybe you won't be revealed, yes? I personally take a lot of value from this, and it helps me with many, many, many aspects of business as well. Okay. Twitter. Twitter is quite famous in US, but it's not so famous in Europe. Like, at least from my perspective, people will use Twitter more on official political postings, and stuff like that. So I just repost automatically what I post on LinkedIn on Twitter. And there is a like tag, you can just click the tag over there and it will just repost, yes? But I still repost because I have few actually followers on LinkedIn that I engage, and I mainly do it for them. But this also creates certain type of visibility, and there are like special tools that helps to follow your brand. Like one is Google Alert, which is free tool. You can set certain alerts on your profile, on your tags, on your keywords, and you will have like a daily, weekly, or monthly mails showing where you've been visible, what you were actually posting, or where you actually appeared on certain searches, yes? I used also a tool which is called Brand24. It's in the deck. I will send later to PMI, and PMI can share it with the team. And this tool is pretty good because it will check not only general websites, but it will go through LinkedIn profiles, it will go through Facebook, Twitters, even TikToks, and wherever, for example, Pawel Lopatka will be mentioned, or for example, customer times or any other tag that you will define over there, it will give you very detailed report, even with, how do they call it? Even with perception, if it was perceived well or bad on the market, yes? And then you have a chance actually to react on that, and you can comment or sometimes delete it. And in that way, you somehow maintain your brand reputation in the network on different media, yes? Okay. YouTube. YouTube, it's something that I'm aiming to maybe start this year. I was about to do it last year, but I didn't manage. So I actually created my new brand podcast, The Bold Type. You can guess why the bold or bald type. I think it's correlation between the guy who doesn't have hairs, but like to talk bold about business and technology. And this is something that most likely will start in the mid of the year. And I'll talk about business technology with executives, mainly about, how they achieve certain goals in their careers, or how the business is growing, what is innovative about their business. And I will do it for a specific reason as well. Of course, I have my strategy behind. And my approach will be that those podcasts won't be too long. I want to have them like 5-10 minutes long, like straight to the point questions. I know that I value my time, and it takes me sometimes 20 minutes to listen podcast and just get this one important sentence that is important for me. I just want to really compress it, squeeze it, and have like very short, informative, straight to the point podcast that people would like to just quickly for 2-5 minutes run in your car. That's it, yes? Another tool which I use quite often, Sales Navigator. Whoever runs, customers or sales teams usually will use it to try to find new leads or get more insights about customers, accounts, their activities, and have some alerts as well. So I think many people on that call probably use the Sales Navigator or other more preferable upgrades of LinkedIn. But what is good about Sales Navigator, and what I used actually a lot here, I'll try to maybe also find it here. I use also LinkedIn Learning, which is pretty good from my perspective. But what allows me LinkedIn Learning, and I use also Udemy, it allows me both Udemy and LinkedIn Learning to upload content, for example, when I'm flying between different countries, to my mobile. So very often I don't watch movies now in the flight, but I would actually do a lot of e-learnings, short 10, 15, 20, 1 4-hour like lessons, where I will actually do certain certifications. Yes? So as you can see, in progress 40, saved 54, my collections, I actually started security, cloud, and many others. Yes, and I also have some certifications here, notifications, but I did a lot of them, believe me, like show all. Okay, no, my collections, all learning history. I already finished 14, to be honest. Yes, design thinking, data science, mergers acquisition, and if I go, for example, for a meeting with customer, even though I will talk about technology, but I know he's expert for on a certain area, yes, at least I will try to educate myself on very high level on the topics that he would be actually running on day-to-day basis. Because then at least I have some high level points of discussion that I can start with him, yes? Okay. And another good stuff, especially for foreigners that are not native speakers in English, yes, very great tool. Probably majority of you use it, which is Grammarly, and helps definitely to put the right type of words, sentences into the right grammar order as well. And I think then spelling it's much more easier perceived by everyone, and you sound much more professional. So yeah, I will stop sharing now. Did I share already the screen? Oh yeah, I think I did, yes. I'll stop sharing on the screen. And like that was at least high level. I will send you later the presentation, very basic one, but it's even more tools like how to use hashtags, how to, for example, find certain topics of discussion, so on and so forth. But this is exactly what I would actually use day-to-day basis, yes? And lately we were traveling to Miami. Yes. Please.
So sorry, we have Anna's hand, and if you're okay, we will.
Yeah, let's grab the questions now. Anna, please.
I'll try to switch on my camera. Sorry, just at home. Yeah, I have a question. So do you think sometimes it's useful to have separate profiles, like your professional profile, like your business profile, and your private profile? So I mean, I was looking on Instagram, for example. Yeah, I frankly speaking not using it frequently, and the only thing I used to post there is my nails designs. And of course it looks like not professional. Yeah, and I use my Facebook for my friends only, so I post my cat there, and again it doesn't look professional. So the only professional profile I have is the LinkedIn profile. Yeah, so that makes sense, to duplicate your profiles. Have your private profiles where you can actually post everything you want, like your cats, your dogs, your nails, whatever, your travel. Or it should be like all in one.
I think certain social media are used for certain reasons, yes. Like Instagram would be used more from my perspective, for communication through pictures, yes. And I mix somehow those profiles, but I try to differentiate. For example, I will not post a lot of private stuff on LinkedIn. Sometimes I will do some bit personal like post on LinkedIn, but with intention. Like people might say, for example, oh, it's my private life, I don't want to share it with anyone. Of course, you have right to do it, definitely. But from the other side, like, I'm not ashamed of my family, you know, I'm okay, they are with me, you know, and I know everyone on the world have families, husbands, wives, you know, and stuff like that. So, for example, my father, I have already post created for my father. He's actually retiring this year. All his life, he was working in the company that is making flour, you know, flour to bake bread, yes? So he dedicated his life, 30-something years, to work in this company, which actually helped many people to actually have bread on the table every day. And, you know, like, he was working there starting as a specialist, he was a manager, but he was never able to be promoted to director, only because in that times of post-communist times in Poland, you know, not everyone could actually go to university, yes? But he's a great professional. He knows everything about this company, you know how it works, yes? So people are great professionals. They know much more about the company's processes, you know, technology of those huge silos than probably new managers that will go there, yes? And I will definitely post this like a message on LinkedIn, because I want to appreciate him and show that it's, you know, heritage matters for everyone, and we can learn from the past. And because we are driving our careers at the moment, doesn't mean that only we are great, but actually our parents were great, for example, yes? So, but I will use it in that smart way, at least from my perspective, yes? I use a lot of Instagram, for example, but I love pictures, yes? My wife, she's a photographer. I was a photographer in the past. I travel a lot, and people even on that call who are with me, they will know that I love taking selfies. As I will be with people, I will take selfies, and this is kind of my strategy. If I even meet guys from new company, from client, yes, what I will do, I will make a selfie with those guys, and instead of writing on LinkedIn, for example, oh, it was great to see you during that meeting, I'll send them a picture. Why? Because this one picture, in 5 years from now, if you open this chat, this person will exactly know when it was done, what was the circumstances, how this guy looked like, how he smelled, how he talked, and everything. So one picture, 10,000 words from my perspective. And this is how I would use it. Ivan, your hand is up.
Cool.
Yeah, my hand has been raised. I have a question. How much time normally you're spending for getting your profile updated? And which amount of efforts it takes you to play guitar?
Ah, yeah, I have guitars over there as well. Okay, so in general, I like to work, and I don't treat this as something that I need to do. Like, imagine you are a developer in IT and you need to update Jira after every of your tasks. If I see a need or something changed, I like to update it and be up to date and just share the news with everyone, yes? So it's hard to tell me how much I would spend, but for example, I would prefer to read LinkedIn, for example, articles or like media messages rather than watch sometimes Netflix, yes? And because, you know, I'm curious about business, what is happening there. And now on LinkedIn, a lot of companies post great materials, you know, white papers, case studies and everything, and I will go through them. And I will try to educate myself every day. So probably I will spend a lot of time, but this is also type of personality I am, yes?
Okay, cool, clear, thank you. What about guitars?
Yeah, so it's my hobby. I'm not a great player. I can play probably like 5 songs, but you know, like if you even can play 5 songs, it will relax you a lot, you know, like you will play the same songs majority of your life, round the robin, but you know, it's great.
Cool, yeah. Cool, thank you.
Pawel, my husband is a guitar player. Can he make friends with you on LinkedIn?
No, I invite you all. If you are not connected, let's connect.
Thanks.
And you know, like I like to make connections through situations that bound people. So we have Przemek on the call. Yesterday we were sailing on the yacht in Gdańsk. And you know, people would imagine, why the heck you would like to sail on Baltic Sea, almost in winter, because, you know, you will always remember and you'll always talk that you didn't say it on Caribbean, like everyone says the Caribbean is great water, great sea, we can see the bottom of the, but you say it on cold Baltic Sea, in windy weather, your hands were frozen, you couldn't pee to the toilet because it was like that, you know. And that makes a kind of situation that you share with people on that boat. And if you meet next time, they will always call, who was on that boat? It was Przemek, it was Piotr, it was this and that guy, yes? We also, for example, organize like bike trips for like a close group of people, or do something that people can definitely associate themselves with or recall later on. And this is how you build this kind of relationship, yes? And relationship doesn't mean that you need to monetize this relationship at all, even, yes? You can become friends after all, but even if you want to reach to that person, it doesn't need to be like next day. It can happen year, 2, 3, 5 years from now, even, yes? But take constant, I would say, work and think around that to do it properly. Okay, let me just open the chat. I'm not sure if any questions there.
Yeah, no questions there. Just, you know, saying how amazing this
I
webinar is.
I can ask one question if you don't mind.
Go on, brother. Hit me.
If you can recall, what was the first value out of your personal brand? When you create your personal brand and you were like constantly working on it, updating on it, what was like the first like thing you get out of that, like the first value you can remember?
I'll tell you a different story. When I was in high school, you know, during Friends, I was very active, you know, and we were doing crazy stuff, like all of us when we were young, yes? But I was really bad in presentations. I'm still not great, by the way, yes? That's why I don't like to present slides, and I like to speak more about live storytelling because it comes for me more natural. But I remember that I had French lessons. I was on the first grade of high school, I don't know, 16 years old. And every time this lady asked me to go to the board and write something in French or ask me some questions, I had this stick here and my cheek will be like, and it was so stressful for me. And I took it as a goal for me to overcome this challenge. And every time, on every possible occasion, I will raise my hand, I will try to go to speak publicly and to present something, even though it's still very challenging for me. But I know that only by going out of your comfort zone in every aspect of your life, you can develop. And I think that was the key differentiator for me when I realized myself that I can be whoever I am. So I remember first time I joined to board of directors, it was Project Management Institute. So I volunteered to be a volunteer in Wroclaw at that time. Przemek was already there, by the way. Przemek Koteski was part of BOD on Project Management Institute long before me. And I said, like, how to become this board of director member? And I start to analyze all the profiles, all the people. I read the content from those BOD meetings, what is happening there. True story, Przemek, by the way, yes? And, I thought like, it can't be so difficult, yes? And, I start to volunteer and I was actually opening the seminars of project management in Wrocław for like a year or something. And then there was election time. And it was like, everyone can volunteer. But usually people will not volunteer for those positions because they will say, I have no connections, I don't know anyone, and so on and so forth. I volunteered, I went to Warsaw, and there was this meeting, oh, we have one more volunteer, Pawel is there. I was not so recognized that time, to be honest. And I remember my colleague Monica, she was actually applying for business development VP role in that organization. And, I actually took advantage of the situation, yes? Because I'm extrovertic. Actually, did really great presentation. I just entered to the stage for 1 minute because, and I just pitched everyone for 1 minute with very energetic things, how things could be done, what I will achieve, what are the goals, what a strategy I will have. And I literally won by 1 or 2 votes. And this is how I become first-time BOD member. This opened many doors to me in my career as well, because I was project manager at that time, but suddenly I become in non-profit organization board and LinkedIn profile, which great logo, by the way, and be able to speak to C-level guys of Microsoft in Poland or any other organization. And wow, they replied to me, you know, suddenly the gate opened. And that was really ice-breaking for me that, you know, with volunteering and using great brand behind, okay, people will say like, oh, it's job for free, they are not paying, I will not do it. There is another value behind that you can actually use it to grow your career and actually develop your personal brand and many things around. So this is kind of the story. I'm still actually volunteering in PMI, more like a mentor. I think last 3-4 years I'm mentoring many guys, but I can also say that I have many mentees. 3 of my mentees become directors, maybe not only because of me, but I feel like a father of their story as well. And 2 of them are working in big corporations on enterprise level. So, you know, things are doable and possible, yeah?
Thank you for sharing the story.
I might have one more question, if you don't mind. First of all,
Yes.
Thank you very much for sharing your story and you know, all the tips around keeping leading and those social media. You've walked us across like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and you actually taught us how to, you know, build the image you would like to project on all those social media. And I think it's very, from what I got from your speech, it's very powerful to build a good partnership and to, you know, build a good network. And I certainly understand that you are a big fan of images. You believe in, you know, powerful force of them. So I have a very tricky question.
Okay.
What would your tips be for building a strong CV?
That's another story I can tell you.
Okay.
You know, I finished 3 type of universities. You know, Polytechnical University in Poland, in small city Opole. No one actually knows, but you know, I graduated and it was IT. But during that study, I moved to Scotland, and now I'll tell you the story about the CV. Education system in UK is totally different than in Poland, yes? Where in Poland, we used to learn everything about microprocessors, you know, the flows and Pascal programming. God knows, no one is using Pascal right now. We had 2 years of Pascal. Why? Yes. And already that time when we learned Pascal, the language was dead, by the way, yes? But when we went to UK, you know, wow, we are on the 3rd year, you know, bachelor's year, and we are not learning a lot of IT. We had like ethical hacking, you know, funny topics like really want to do, but we had a lot of topics related how to actually find job. And we had over 1 semester a session about how to create your CVs. And, you know, it was really educational because we had this UK guy that used to work for BBC. And I think he rejected my CV like 20 times before he finally approved. And, you know, like, you are like young lad, you know, and you want to put like everything to your CV and things are not relevant to whatever you want to post there, yes? So I would say that how I write my CV now is I would try to put all type of position-related experience that actually builds upon that you are the right candidate to that role, yes? So I'll actually customize my CV to specific role. If I would be project management, even from university, even if you were not project manager, but you had many projects where you actually act as a project manager, and you can actually show that you were managing, for example, of creating the biggest geek event of the best music band from Poland for 5,000 students, and you were running this with your like student group and everything, yes? So I would be more focused, intentional over there, and try to show the real value from different areas and aspects of my life, yes? I wouldn't put, for example, that I was cherry picking in Germany something over the summer period, unless there was like a deeper thought around that, yes? But I would even say that nowadays, there are so many tools and platforms, educational platforms, that we can easily get any certificate, and even on the high glance, we can already be more professional than we are, and at least be able to attend the interview. Yes, and this is how people change their careers. Like, people are on different, on different jobs. They work as mechanics, and they work in totally different industries, but they will do Scrum Master certification. They will go to 5 courses, and they will sooner or later get to the interview, and they will be given this chance to become like a junior Scrum Master or project manager. They will pay a year of maybe not great salary, but they will educate, and then they will grow very heavily. And I have examples even from Softserve around that. Yes. From my previous company, how we grew people from totally different industry that are great project managers and run actually multi-million projects. And there are sometimes better project managers than someone who was educating all the life specific in that study. Yeah?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Jürgen, should we tell the story about Miami now?
Either that or play us out with a tune.
Okay, so Miami. So I had a strategy. We went to Miami to sales kickoff. I'm not officially hired as sales. I run portfolio, global portfolio, fintech portfolio, banking, insurance customers now. But I thought, my God, this is sales meeting. Yes, like why to go to Miami and not to try opportunities on the market? So I created a strategy, like a brand strategy, knowing my past experience and how I approach the client, which clients I run. I start writing to, on LinkedIn, you can actually have the location when you are located, yes? So I changed my location from Wroclaw to Miami. So instantly, LinkedIn showed that I'm like a Miami citizen, yes? And people even now are writing to me from US, like with some offers from Miami, like from the gym, like gym trainers and stuff like that. So that was like a small aesthetical trick, yes? But I created, I selected a group of people that I would actually like to talk to. For example, head of designs, yes? Like where I have story to tell. And remember that when you invite new people, your story must be very short, because you have only 3,000 signs, like very short invitation message that you need to convince someone on the other side that is worth for you to be added to their network, yes? I think I was sending this invitation for 2 weeks. I sent like 300 invitations, 150 per week you have on me. And many, many people actually added me. So when they added me, very straightforward, no times waiting messages. I'll be in Miami from this to that date. Let's talk about Salesforce data. And actually, I was managed to get 4 meetings. 3 of those meetings are really hot leads. And yeah, if everything will go well, I really hope that these 2 will sign as a good deal for our company. Yeah? So that's the story actually I was saying during my meeting kickoff. And yeah, I think I showed off a little bit, but I like to perform, I like to be recognizable, because this is who I am as well, yes? But if everything goes well, maybe I'll get some bonus, I don't know. At least that's the plan. So that's the story from Miami. But LinkedIn, guys, as well, yes? But what I can tell you only one thing, that by constant posting and be visible on the network, even if people don't click likes, they will see it. If I travel to my customers in Seattle, Chicago, Boston, or all over the world, they're so like, oh, I've seen you've been selling again, or I've seen you've been here or there, or I've seen you in London, yes? So they do observe, and I do observe them as well, and we have common topics to discuss, and this helps a lot with the business. Yeah, I think, I know we can ask questions or discuss, but this is, to be honest, my story about personal branding in IT. I hope this will motivate everyone to leverage your profiles and to boost your presence, and hopefully you'll be also very successful in your journey here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for his amazing tips and tricks about, like those profile checks, how you can pursue yourself and to improve by that means.
Okay, guys. Oh, Przemek, your hand is up. Come on.
Actually, Anya.
Actually, it's his
Hi,
wife.
Anya.
Hi, everyone. Paweł, actually, I have a question because I saw on your LinkedIn profile that you have there like a link. You can schedule a call with Paweł Lopatka.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And
yes.
people use that actually.
So, yeah, actually, I would like to ask you like how it works for you. Is it like, you know, like you have like in your daily basis every day, you know, like 100 people who would like to talk and have a question, or, you know, because in now like a lot of people are like just, you know, popping and want to sell you something, or do you want some web design, or do you want this and do you want that? So how it works in, you know, on the C-level, like for you?
So I usually accept those calls only because, you know, I wasn't always like top guy in the organizations, yes, all my life. So I know how hard it is to be on the other side of the fence. I was doing many jobs in my life, you know, different jobs that actually carve me out to the person I am now, yes, but I use this Calendly link on my description, but if someone scheduled the calls through this Calendly, which is at the bottom of my bio description, means for me that this person took a lot of time to analyze my profile. So I especially didn't put it on the top. That's intentionally. So if someone is using Calendly to schedule a call with me, he deserves that from my perspective, because he analyzed the profile, he read it through, he knows with whom he want to talk to, he knows exactly what value he want to bring on that call, and most likely he will be straight to the point and he will not waste his and my time. That's why I usually accept those calls, yes. And another thing actually that is working, I didn't mention here, but actually when we were working still at Softserve, we used a very cool tool called Odro. There are like several tools like video recording and screen recording at the same time, and you can track all interactions and stuff like that. But this is really cool. What it does actually, you just open someone's profile, you start recording like your face in the screen, and you actually say like, for example, oh, Ivan, I see your profile, like, oh, I see you have this and that experience, and you scroll through the profile, so the screen is going up, yes, and you with the mice show what you are actually, and you talk to this person like virtually. But when you send this video on LinkedIn, so it's not a message, it's just a link, and it's like a very small screen pops up with his profile and your face. You actually show that you spent some amount of time to analyze someone's profile, and this will be definitely customized, carve out message for that specific person, which is value for me because it's not automatic copy paste 1,000 times, but someone really spent some time to analyze, to understand, to see where this person is working, what he's doing, what value he can bring for me, but also what value I can bring for him, yes? And the response rate for those kind of communication is really huge, yes? It's not like few percent, it's like 10, 20% of replies usually out of the message you will see, yes? And of course, you have all the analytics behind, like how was it open, how many times, like how many minutes and which minutes was like viewed across the period of time. So it's really cool tool, yes? As well.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Pawel, thank you so much for, you know, having this amazing webinar for the community. It was great having you, and it was actually great to arrange the webinar on personal branding together.
Awesome, guys, and thank you for the invitation. And yeah, more and more webinars like that. I will be also keen to attend and listen to other smart guys, smart ladies, and to educate ourselves and build this great community of project managers. Like whoever is certified, I want to be certified PMI. For me, it's huge value. I always say that PMI for me was the catapult of my career. So definitely worth being in that community.
And
Pawel,
now
sorry to,
let's go to
yeah.
follow LinkedIn.
Sorry for disruption, but one last question about actually the language of the posting. So you're not a native English speaker, we either. Yeah, so sometimes it is very tricky when you want to post something when most of your audience are your native audience, like Ukrainians I have, yeah, but also you have a lot of friends like all around the world. And if you post something in your native language, obviously they will not be able to read it. So how do you manage that?
Yeah. And that's a great question, by the way, and I will give you my honest personal answer. Yes, like I post only in English for a certain reason, because since last 20 years, every single company I work with was from US, Germany, you know, UK, or even Ukraine. But the main language we communicated was English. And for me, it doesn't make sense to collaborating with me in English, that it makes life much more easier. Thanks to the there are like Google translators that translate. But what personal post in Polish underneath, yes. But what I see, for example, from Ukrainian community, there is a lot of posts in Ukrainian only, which actually enables bigger audience to enter your profiles, because they don't read the Cyrillics, you know, and for them it's the struggle. It's like reading Chinese for them. So definitely by switching from Cyrillics to the other alphabet, yes, would or could help probably to be better positioned globally with your journey, yes.
Yeah, sometimes I post bilingual. So I do Ukrainian, then slash, and I do English always.
Oh, and this is one important feature. Let me just share the screen just for a small second. And I think this is actually would be great for everyone to see that. On LinkedIn, there is this awesome feature now where you can actually record how you spell your surname. So if you go to settings, you see the button. When you click on it, Pawel Lopatka, people will know how to pronounce your name. Especially like for us, we can actually see how this is done, yes? But believe me, for foreigners, spelling from Poland, Ukraine, Lithuania, you know, this sometimes we have Y, sometimes we have I, and it sounds totally different. So this is a great feature that I use it. And if someone has this speaker around his name, I will always try to spell exactly the same way how he pronounces it. And I think this also shows kind of respect to the other side while meeting face to face later on the meeting. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Pawel.
Thank you, Pawel.
Thank you a lot.
Sure. Yeah, start connecting, you know, start collaborating, grow your profiles, grow your LinkedIn career, grow your salaries and everything around that, and be successful and happy with your families. That's the key.
You too.
Thank you, Pawel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.